Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the fourth and final part in my series on how I make songs. Let's mix something! First in my mixing process, I create any reverb buses I may need to send my tracks to create space. As you can see, I've already started sending some stuff to them. Then I begin working on the individual tracks, starting with the drums. For my EP, To And Fro, I mostly use this simple chain of plugins from Analog Obsession. I begin with the Brit pre's, add some saturation and cut some high and low frequencies depending on the instrument. As you can see, these bottom two knobs are dedicated to fully cutting the high and low end. Secondly, I use the Brit channel in the chain to shape the sound by cutting and boosting different frequencies. This plugin is actually based off a very famous Neve desk. Thirdly, I use the Fetish plugin to reduce the peaks of the tracks and make them less dynamic in volume. For some reason, I thought voice dubbing me was going to explain every part of this plugin. But sadly, I won't. And also, what sick individual named this plugin? After the drums, I move on to mixing bass guitar. Sometimes, if the bass is too muddy, I'll use this Pultec EQ plugin to perform the low end trim. I could tell you, if you're getting into mixing, it's dead handy sometimes. Then, I can move on to mixing the guitars, which I must say aren't always this many of. And as you can see, I dropped the FET compressor from some of the guitar chains, as the signal wasn't very volume dynamic to begin with. Finally, apart from any sound effects, I get to mixing all the vocals. As well as the usual chain, for my EP To And Fro, I like to add a tape echo onto the end, to get close to that John Lennon vocal sound. Of course, I have to mention how I adjusted the levels of each track as I went along to get a good balance. And with that, the series is over. Also, my EP that you've been seeing me make throughout these videos is finally out on YouTube, SoundCloud and Bandcamp. So go check out the other three parts and my EP, and hopefully I'll see you again.